Alright, what's going on guys, Grumpy here, and welcome to my review of Gran Turismo Sport. So, what we're going to start off with is, the game, in general, looks amazing. You know, it plays and feels like a Gran Turismo game like I thought it would. It didn't play anything like the demo, beta, or whatever you want to call it, at all. But overall, just the amount of detail they've put on the cars and how they all handle, and pretty much just the whole how a car handles and everything, it is all different. Like, no two cars are the same. Well, some of them are the same because they're pretty much the similar cars. But yeah, they're pretty different in some ways and pretty similar in some ways. But no two cars are identical. They're all different, which I like. It's really good how they've done it. Another thing that I want to say is the actual, just, I don't know, just the visuals of the game. They're just perfect. Yeah, they could be more realistic, but it's still that got that, fun Gran Turismo game feel that you should want in a Gran Turismo game. It's one of them. But there is some issues with the game. Like, well, not issues in particular, just actual, messing around with the actual cars themselves, because the only thing you can do is paint jobs and decals. That's pretty much, all you can do with the actual cars. Unless, well, yeah, that's the actual only visual thing you can do. You can't add spoilers to them or anything like that. You can change the, like, wheels and stuff and the rims and all that, but you can't actually add a spoiler to a car or something like that. I think, well, I don't know whether you class, so say, for example, you got your Mustang GT Premium Fastback, right? And then there's the GR3 version of it, which is the, the racing type of it, which is pretty much the upgraded version. That's how they're pretty much doing things now. It seems to have one car, then the upgraded version of that car. Again here, like the GT86, and then you got the rally version, and then there is also a racing version. I don't think I have it. I may have it. No, I don't have it. So yeah, stuff like that. It's different. Like here again, the Mustang. This is the rally version of the car. So pretty much you're gonna have like set cars, and then there's just gonna be different versions of them which have different upgrades on them, that are more titled to the, that part of the race type thing, or that bit. So one thing you can do is you can actually upgrade cars. So at the moment you see my car, my Mustang is on 442 max power and 56.4 max torque, and you can pretty much, you can still mess with, the speeds and stuff to actually. So if you look just above the picture of the Mustang, you can see the N600 next to the Ford badge. If you look at that, it actually drops. So that is the tiers that you can actually use the car within, which is pretty much how the races, like, that's how they stage the races. So pretty much you can still use, the car that you want to use. You just have to level it up by using your mileage points to increase its speed. So you can do that, boom, levels it up. So now I've leveled up twice now. So now the max speed is now in an N700 range, and it's got 647 brake horsepower. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can also mess around with, the weight of the car. You can make it heavier, make it lighter. Obviously, you can do more to that as you level it up, which is pretty cool. So pretty much they've made them the main two that you do upgrade. Then the rest of it, you actually have to, use a fully customized transmission and mess around with, say you wanted it performance, you whack it on max, and then you have to slowly, tone it down until you get it to the actual miles. Well, probably not that bit, so you can leave that on max. So that's what miles per hour you could get out of it, I'm pretty sure. and you have to fiddle with the gears, you know, the gear ratios and stuff to actually try and get it to that that speed. But that is the max speed you could probably get it at a push. You know, it's that type of thing. But obviously that is, you have to do a lot of fiddling to get it to get to that max speed. So, you know, it is something, it's different. You can mess with ride height, so you can have it lower, and have it higher. I'm actually going to lower this bit, actually. Put that to 105, and I'm going to lower this to 90? Actually, no, 95. You don't want it too low, because if you hit the curbs and stuff, you just like end up like flipping your car, or just coming to a dead stop, stuff like that. Pretty much you can fiddle with all this stuff, and it's really different and really cool how they've done it. It's a lot different to what it used to be, but once you've played with it for a bit and messed around with it, you sort of figure it out. Like I'm on the point where I'm starting to actually understand it and figure it out now. So it's actually making you learn, you know, ratios for the max speed and the gears and everything. You know, just pretty much go through all of that. So you got this one, full customized mechanical LSD. So you can actually, you know, change the amount of torque and acceleration sensitivity between every, like, you know, gear, or actually just setting off and stuff, and your drivetrain. Just that type of thing is just really, it's just different to what you know, the original is, which I kind of like, to be honest. It's different. It is a bit annoying that you can't actually, you know, physically upgrade your car, so I'll show you guys that real quick. So if we go to home, we go to brand central, I'll use the Mustang example like I was using. So this is what I was on about before. So if we go to the showroom, so here we got the Mustang, alright? So this is N400, alright? So this is like a 400 brake horsepower, you know, area of car. So it'd be like from 350 to 450 or something like that. You know, that's the set range of what brake horsepower you can use in that race, for example. And if you wanted to use a faster one, you'd have to either upgrade it like I was showing you just then, or you buy a, you know, different one set for that. This is actually a slower version, but I think it's more of a, I'm not sure. It's got better acceleration than that. This is pretty much a track version, a basic track version of the Mustang. And then we've got the what's it called? Like a touring car version of it, which is GR3. And then you got like the rally versions of the car as well, and you got the Ford Focus rally version. But they are supposed to be adding some more cars. That's another thing as well. From the get-go, there isn't a ton of cars. Like, yeah, there's a lot, but there's not a lot of cars, you know, there's not a lot of choice of cars. And one thing that I do miss from the previous one was the ability to buy second-hand cars. So, I'm pretty sure you were able to buy like a car that had a lot of mileage. It needed, you know, oil changing, engine fixing, and stuff like that. That whole like premise of being able to fix your car and, you know, pretty much car management, and being able to look, you know, having to look after your car and looking at your oils and stuff, make sure you got your oil levels right. Not oil levels, but like make sure your oil's clean. You know, that that is an important part. Pretty much this game doesn't have any of that, but I would like it to be a part of the game, and I think a lot of people would as well. That looks like a chocolate Bugatti. Chocolate Bugatti. But yeah, that's something that I would like to see back into the game, is that second-hand market. But I want them to have more of a customization. So say like you got the second-hand market, you buy a car that's missing a wheel, the engine needs like fixing because it's completely knackered, you know, oil and everything you need to pay for, need actually new tyres on it, that type of thing. I want that, and you actually spend credits on that, not mileage points. because mileage points seem to be taking over on the upgrading part of it, and I kind of don't like that, but you know, it is what it is. Um, it's different. You actually have to play the game to upgrade the cars, which is completely fine. You can't just throw money at it or sell a car that's worth a lot to upgrade a car that's worth a lot, you know, make it faster, which made the other car irrelevant. One thing I'd like to do is if you were playing with like everything turned on, so that's tire wear, engine damage, just actual physical damage as well, and fuel depletion. What I would like to see is if you were doing it in proper racing, so when you're actually doing the missions or you're actually doing the what's it called, like the circuit tracks, if you're actually doing it with fuel depletion and damage on, you would have to then, if you like completely wrote off your car, you would have to then switch, or you'd just be taken out of the race or whatever. You'd have to then switch to if you had a separate vehicle that's exactly identical or one in that same power like ratio, you could then enter the race again or something like that, and continue doing the race. And then that vehicle that was completely annihilated and just completely trashed, you would then have to, you know, go to the garage, and then you'd have to repair the car, so you have to buy a new engine for it, or like new body parts for it because it's completely trashed. And then like say you just make it more have a more realism to it. So if you do damage to the car in that sense, then you have to fix it. But not if you just like say only in an online session and you're just you know dicking about your mates and you just got fuel and tire and damage on. That doesn't count if it's in a private session. But if you're in an actual online session, to the point where you're doing so, be easy if I did this, loaded up this. Yeah, sure. Alright, so like say the Nations Cup or Manufacturer Series. So say these had endurance mode on. I'm just gonna call it endurance mode because that's what it was in the previous one. I'm not sure if it's actually in this one or not. But in these, if you had those, like, you know, and you completely wrote off your car, you'd have to fix it. But if you're just playing in a, you know, online session, so say like just a lobby session. So boom. So say you're playing in one of these ones, you know, you got it as race for fun. So if I go and create a new room, got it as race for fun. So if you got it race for real, it would affect it. And then that's pretty much it. But race for fun, if you like had it turned on, so you can actually turn on all the stuff. So like mechanical damage, fuel depletion. If you had all that on and it was on race for fun, it doesn't count. But if you had race for real, then it would affect it. You know, that type of thing. I think it'd be pretty fun. But yeah, there are just a couple of things that I feel missing. Missing? There are a couple of things that I feel that are missing from the game. Again, I know that they're going to be adding up to 500 cars, I think it was, or 500 cars. Something like that. But, yeah. Let me know in the comments what you feel of the game and what you think's missing. And what you think of that idea of, you know, buying cars that are like, you know, the missing wheels and stuff, and you have to fix their engine and pay credits for them. But then overall, it could be a really good car. So that could be a guy that's been wrote off in a race and someone's just gone ahead and sold it. So actual players can sell cars to other players. That type of thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Overall, I really like the game. Obviously, they're going to be adding stuff in the future. So, for me, in a game rating, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8.5 just simply because for what I've got of the game, and then pretty much all the features that are actually available in the game at the moment, not counting the stuff that's missing, it is a really fun game. And with what's available, yeah, it's good. But for stuff that could be in the game and stuff that's missing, I think I'm gonna give it probably a 6.5, maybe a 7. Yeah, probably a 7, because just those little features on their own would just make the game that much better. Like actually customizing the cars and stuff was just a big thing that, like, yeah, adding the spoiler to the car or whatever for drifting and stuff like that. Like you've got set cars for that now. So, and you can drift while modifying your cars, messing around with that. But it was just something about having just some random car, being able to whack a huge spoiler on it, and then messing around with the actual cars, like the torque and all of that, weight distribution, messing around with all of that, and then being able to drift with it was just such a fun like thing to do. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also check out any of my other videos that are on the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.